Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jenny Helms at Soma Recovery, and today I just wanted to talk to you guys about something that I discussed over coffee today with a new friend of mine, and I don't know if I want to talk about her name, but we had a really great discussion about why it's important to see a therapist or a clinician and any sort of healing professional that has actually gone through some of the experiences or similar experiences that you have. Now, nobody will ever be able to fully experience and walk in your shoes 100%. None of us. And so I don't know that it has to necessarily be to the T that they have had exactly your experience of what you're going through, but there's something to be said about what we call in our field wounded healers, which honestly is probably most, if not all of us, but some of us have really used that work and grown through the therapy that we have done ourselves or the healing work we have done ourselves through yoga, through massage, through acupuncture, through all sorts of different things. And we really take it seriously as our self of the therapist or self of the healer to go through the things and experience the things that we ask our clients to do, so that we're not just kind of preaching to them from our mountaintop of graduate degrees or whatever certifications that we have, and we're actually speaking to them from the heart and from a place of empathy, because we know that empathy is a good connector that just allows people to absorb information better. Doesn't mean that we always will have the best information, and I am the first person to say that I think it's important that I continue my growth journey and healing journey and learning journey educationally, so that, I don't just provide empathy, but that I let people absorb what I hear, but I also have things to say and ways to ask them questions so that they can honestly learn from their own way of being, because I think that a lot of people have our true healthy self has everything we need to heal. It's not that I'm just a magic person that's able to heal other people because of all my magical wisdom. I truly believe that we all have our wisdom, and so I am just really focused on figuring out how I can help people heal through things, somewhat through a little bit of education, but mostly through asking them questions and helping them discover that true healthy self that is totally theirs and totally their power, and helping them step back into their power, because they know themselves better than I ever will. They know their story better than I ever will. And essentially, I think that when you're looking for a therapist, it's really important that you find somebody who you feel is able to at least say, I have walked some of your walk. Maybe not the same struggle, maybe not even I've even worked with people before, and that I didn't ever experience exactly what they went through, but because of my own wounded healing journey through my eating disorder and working through a lot of my own trauma, I've been able to connect with them and say, I don't know exactly what this is like for you, and I know what it's like to be in a really tough place and to work through trauma and to feel feelings and to have that empathetic relationship and connect with them. So anyway, my whole long spiel of today is that when looking for people in your healing journey, I highly recommend that you find a wounded healer. And the funny part is I think a lot of people won't necessarily self-identify as that, so it's not like you're going to walk up to them and be like, hey, are you a wounded healer? But I think you'll see it more so in the way that they are with you. I know that kind of sounds vague, but in the way that they're able to be empathetic and listen to you and empower you and tell you some hard truths and challenge you at times, but from a place where it just seems like it's not about them, it's about you. And again, I think only you are going to know what that really feels like. I know for some people who have had a lot of trauma, it can feel very hard to feel safe with any person. But I think a person will be willing to be patient with you in that journey and do what they can to kind of just be with you as you're feeling unsafe and not push you where you're not ready to go yet. So that's my spiel for today. I hope that's helpful for some of you, that you understand that being a wounded healer can be very empowering and helpful in this field. I think a lot of people and humans are wounded healers in their own right, or have had traumatic experiences that they just don't necessarily identify as trauma. And I think when people are able to use that resilience and use those things to connect with other human beings, whatever they do, whether it's therapy or coaching or in the corporate world, gosh, empathy is just one of the most beautiful things that we can offer to people. It truly is, and it's one of the things that has actually been shown to be really effective when it comes to good leadership. So, without making this video way longer than I intended, I will leave you with that note and hope you guys all have a wonderful Monday.